Hi friends, welcome back to Manifest with Armine. My name is Armine and I'm a law of attraction consultant. Today's video is about your imagination being you seeing life through the eyes of God. Okay, this is what Neville said. This is what we want to really grasp and understand so that we don't have these mixed emotions about actually manifesting the things that we desire, because Neville said the dreamer in you is God, right? And we tend to take our ideas and our thoughts so not seriously, and we feel like it's selfish, it's not important, in the whole scheme of things, what are the chances that I'm going to have this thing that I want? It's not that important. It's okay if I can't have it. But then something within us really, really wants it. So this should put to ease all these conflicting ideas that we have. When you realize that imagination is seeing through the eyes of God, then we realize, oh, maybe it is important. Maybe it is a gift that we have, because our God self or our inner being is actually, seeing the possibilities, and there's some kind of guidance in that. If the dreamer in you is God, then all of a sudden you realize that, oh, all those things that I've been brushing off as it's not that important, or I better serve this purpose or that purpose, but you're completely brushing away something that is being communicated to you through source that is supposed to come through you. And this whole thing of it being so selfish to manifest the things that you want, the experiences that you want in life, for that being selfish instead of serving others, does that really make sense? Because everyone is capable of manifesting their own desires and their own, if you want to call them goals, or their whole plan. If whoever has a plan for their life, whether it's thought out or inspired, everyone has the ability to carry that out, and everyone will play their role even if they don't realize that they're involved, because that's the beauty of the way things are orchestrated in this world. When we start to feel guilty about wanting what we want and kind of making it like, well, it's okay if it doesn't work out, it's not that important, because we feel bad like, oh, it's just my little idea, it doesn't really matter, if this project doesn't work, it's okay, or if I don't get the exact relationship I want, I'll just settle like everybody else does, and it might feel like that sometimes, but there's a reason we want what we want, and it's not our human mind, it's not our logical mind that is wanting that. The logical mind helps us understand what we want, because if our logical mind is seeing a couple, let's say, that's not happy, or seeing a situation that you don't want to be in, then logically we can understand, oh, okay, so I must want the opposite of that. That must not be what I want. I must want something that is not like that, which is to be in a happy relationship, right? So is that bad? Is that bad to want that? Why would we be able to decipher what we want if what we want wasn't important? And why would it be important to serve other people's desires only and not our own? Because if someone else's desire is important, then ours must be too, right? Because how is our desire different than theirs? We should actually be serving our own instincts first, and we'll always be playing a role in helping other people manifest. It's not even a conscious thing. You're doing it whether or not you realize it. And when we want things, there's a reason, and it's not just for us. We don't realize that in attaining those experiences and seeing life through that perspective and living as that version of ourselves that we are naturally, having a desire to be and to do, to have, then there are so many people that we are lifting along the way that we don't realize it. We don't realize it. Something as simple as, oh, that necklace is beautiful, I want it. I'm not really a jewelry person, but if someone's like, oh, that necklace is beautiful and I want it, that seems like a selfish thing, doesn't it? But guess what? When you buy that necklace, or when that necklace is bought, if you manifest someone else buying it for you, whatever, it doesn't matter. The person who created that, who designed that, who made that, who sold that, there are people who are benefiting from it along the way. So how is it selfish? How is it selfish when there are people benefiting from it aside from you? You get to appreciate it. The reason that was created and people put effort in that and people put time into making that, it was because of your desire for it. The desire, the seed of desire within yourself. Everything is connected. Everything is done perfectly in a very practical way. So when we want something and we say, oh, it's all right, I'll just, put that on the back burner, or I'll just think about it later, or I'll prioritize all these other things first because I promised people a bunch of stuff, or I promised myself that this is the most important thing. My career is the most important thing, which you may not even like that much. Just to focus on what brings you bliss. That's why Abraham says, follow your bliss. That's the best possible advice. Why? Because it's selfish, makes you happy. Because it leads you to the most fulfilling path that will bring you more and more reasons to be joyful, because you're following the joy, and others will undoubtedly benefit along the way just as much as you are. You just don't realize the role that you play in other people's lives, because sometimes we just, we're so happy in that moment that we're on our way to pick up our necklace that we smile at a stranger, and that stranger maybe really need that smile, forget, aside from the money and the people who are making money and sending their kids to school or feeding their kids with that money that they are making from the sale of that necklace. There's just so many infinite, endless possibilities and examples that we should never, ever feel like our desire or manifesting our desire is a burden in any sense, on any level. The reason you have that desire is because it was put there for a reason. It's part of this perfect design. And the more you understand that imagination is seeing through the eyes of God, then you're not as hesitant to let yourself imagine and feel like, oh, if I imagine it, it's just my imagination, it's just in my mind. Everything starts just in your mind. That is the workshop of life. It starts in your imagination. Everything was imagined before it was created, right? So that was today's message. And like a little add-on to that, I'm saying a little add-on, but that's such an understatement, is when you're visioning, when you're feeling something real, if you want to call it visualizing, don't force it. Don't force it. If you're feeling like you have to force it, that means that you're still in the mode of feeling that you're lacking this thing, and you haven't let yourself just shift a little bit in the direction of understanding what it might be like to be experiencing it now, to be receiving that now. Do you have to wait a long time? Do you have to have a big spiritual awakening to get there? No, but give it a few seconds. You can easily move up the emotional scale in a matter of seconds. Like Neville says, when you move from state to state, it's like moving from in and out of a room, into another room. But sometimes there's a hallway where you're kind of, going from room to room, or if it's like a train kind of place where the rooms are all attached to each other, you got to go through a couple other rooms before you get to the room that you want, right? You don't jump from one state to another. You get there, you ease your way through there, and that feeling of relief of moving from state to state means that you are rising in consciousness, because you're feeling lighter, that heaviness is lifting, and that takes a matter of seconds. Sometimes it takes us decades, but it doesn't have to. So be easy on yourselves. Stop looking at this thing as if it's hard, because the more you see things as it's hard, the harder you're going to experience it as. Why are some things easy, some things hard? Because you see them as hard. Like we see them as hard, we label them as hard. At one point, we just decided that it's going to be hard. But that's why it's feeling that way, and it's very convincing. It's incredibly in your face, difficult. It's tumultuous sometimes. It's self-torment, but we don't realize it's self-torment. Like, there's that meme where there's like a kid with a boot on his head, and then he's like suffering, and then it kind of pans out and you see that he's the one holding the boot on his head. So we think like we're suffering, but it's self-inflicted because we're seeing it as that. We're seeing ourselves as victims. And you got to kind of step out of that and realize, oh, actually the way nature works is that things are made for us. They're made to support us. So unless you specifically practice things to being hard, it's not hard. It's not supposed to be hard. It's actually like once you realize how simple things are and you start to manifest things easily, you realize, wow, wow, I was really off over there thinking it's going to be hard. You can't get it when it's hard. You can struggle for it. If you believe hard work will get you there in every sense, then you will have to work hard for everything. Sometimes things look like hard work but we just love doing it. It's just a talent that we have, that we work on, that we refine. And it's on the outside it looks like hard work. It doesn't mean that you don't put, action into anything. No, absolutely not. But every person has a different idea of what work is, what hard work is, what ease is. But if it feels hard to you, like if it actually feels hard, like difficult and very unpleasant, that's not the way. I know there's differing opinions about this, but I can tell you it's not the way. Once you accept that it's easy, then it comes and you realize, oh wow, I didn't actually have to suffer through that whole time. Hope that helped. I just kind of threw a bunch of stuff at you guys, but those were things that I was thinking about, and I know at least a couple of those things are going to help you right now because it always helps me. It doesn't matter how much of a master manifester someone is. That's why I don't like those terms. We are all master manifestors. We just want to tap in to notice what we're doing so we can make a connection between what we're doing within ourselves and the result that we're getting. And there's nobody, don't believe anybody who says that they no longer, struggle with anything. Because as long as you're a human, you're going to have some kind of unfulfilled desire. That's what keeps things going. So don't be hard on yourself, be easy on yourself, and let it be easy. Let it be simple. And stop complaining that it's too hard and that it's just not working out for you. Because that's the attitude that's actually getting you there in the first place, to the point where it feels like that and it's showing up as that. All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you for watching. If you want more of this kind of stuff, click like. If you want to subscribe and you haven't done so yet, please do. And then click the notifications bell. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.